the one. So just a quick announcement from me. On the 12th to the 16th of October, we are launching a new digital event series called Digital Accountancy Week. Within that week, we're launching the Top 100 Tech Summit, which is a technology event, digital event for larger size accountancy firms, advisory live for firms who want to take advisory services to the next level, how we market, sell, what products we use, and ultimately how we deliver business support services to our clients and how we commercialize that offering. We're launching a Small Firms Festival, which is a digital event aimed at small firms. We'll be looking at the technology you can use to help you scale up your accountancy practice. And also we'll be looking at digital marketing and leveraging social media. We've got the App Advisory Summit, which is all about for firms who want to deliver app and technology advisory services to their clients. And we have the Digital Transformation Forum, which is for small, medium and large size accountancy firms who are going through a period of change and transformation with regards to software and the service delivery that we offer to our clients. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Dan Cockerton. I'm the founder and one of the directors here at the Digital Accountancy Show. Nice to meet you all. Nice to see some familiar faces from Wednesday's session. So first of all, just a quick big thank you from me. That the feedback, the LinkedIn messages, the emails I got after the session on Wednesday was really nice, and I really appreciate it. When you publish your ideas on the world, you never know how people are going to take it and what sort of feedback you're going to get and if it's any good. So to hear such nice feedback from everyone was really heartwarming. So thank you so much. In terms of why we're doing this, I spent a number of years working at Xero, and in my time working at Xero, half of the role was me helping firms of accountants roll out Xero across the firm, moving their clients onto cloud-based software. The other half were questions around the apps and the ecosystem that tie into these cloud bookkeeping products. And I often found that people felt that the app ecosystem was sometimes a bit overwhelming. There was quite a lot there. We never knew where to invest our time and research. So that's where part of us running the Digital Accountancy Show was to kind of solve that problem as a part of the show. And then during COVID, we tried to be a bit creative and come up with some ideas on how we can create engagement between these really awesome software companies that we work with and our fantastic audience of forward-thinking, technology-focused accountants. So we came up with this idea. It feels like it's working. So I'm really pleased today that across the 10 7-minute presentations or quick-fire presentations, we have TaxCalc, Fluidly, Practice Ignition, Pixie, Starling Bank, Capium, Satago, Smartvault, Xero Tax, and Nett-Tracker. So big warm welcome to all those guys. One thing I would say, if you have any questions or want to get involved in the chat, please put any questions in the Q&A. Our fantastic panelists will be able to look at those questions and answer those for you. So once you've seen the presentations, if there's any questions you want to ask, fire them in there. And if you want to get involved in the chat, it'd be nice to hear from you as well. At the end of the session, we will run a poll to see which apps you'd like to hear from. So if you'd like to get in touch with any of those, just click that button and we'll make sure one of the guys reach out to you. And then we'll swiftly close things off. So, and also a big thank you to everybody on the call this morning. Really appreciate your time. So without further ado, I will hand over to Jamie Royston-Smith from TaxCalc. Jamie, over to you.
Oh. Hi everyone, just getting unmuted there. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Jamie. We can see your screen.
Fantastic. Hopefully you can see the presentation.
Yep.
Great. So thanks everyone. Yeah, obviously 7 minutes is it's not much time. So let's crack on and start covering all that we need to today. So thanks for your time. Really the idea of today is to generate interest and further intrigue in the product. So if you've got any questions, then please fire them to the details you see on screen. If you're not familiar with TaxCalc, we're an integrated provider. We're a family-owned business. We've been providing high-performance integrated practice solutions for just under 20 years. And the products are now trusted by 9,000 plus accountancy practices. So our customers are accounting partners, not clients, because the suite of tools really is to help practitioners bring in many kind of functions into one integrated system. So what do we cover? So I just sort of flash up our little kind of ecosystem wheel on the screen. You can see these are the kind of core areas that we we help practices with. So we've got compliance services, that's obviously tax return, accounts production, taxes in the name, so that hopefully that's quite straightforward. Practice management, so we've really moved into that sphere in terms of delivering workflow tools for practitioners, time recording, multiple office functionality, and document management solutions as well. You'll hear from our document management partner, Smartvault, later on. Then we've got practice compliance. So that's all about your internal practice compliance in terms of keeping yourself up to date with AML regulations, AML searches, and GDPR. So yeah, having that integrated with your client data means you can run those kind of ID and risk assessments on the fly. And then client communications. So how do we get e-sign approval out to clients quickly for tax returns and accounts? And how do we communicate with our clients in terms of mail merge and standard letters and client questionnaires? We've got some excellent integrations with the key bookkeeping providers. So this is typically the entry point in terms of information into TaxCalc. So yeah, two-way integration with QBO, integration with Xero, Free Agent, and HMRC in Companies House. So the Companies House integration syncs company data into the client record, and then you've got HMRC information that pulls into the tax return. Importantly, unlike many of the compliance systems out there, it's cloud-based. This quote from Nicola at Effective Accountancy, this is pre-COVID. So she says being on the cloud gives us the advantage of being able to offer flexible working to our team. So we know that it's just so important to have this kind of central practice management function in the cloud. So without further ado, let's take a look. I'm going to go into the software here and let's give you a quick flavor. So you can see we've got lots of different tabs across the top of the screen. So the TaxCalc app gives you complete multitasking kind of functionality, and it's a really rich user experience and it's high performing. So this is accounts production. All we'd literally do is follow this little workflow down the left, select our disclosure options, and then at this point we may want to import a trial balance from something like Xero. So we would literally just click into this, log into our Xero account. I'm not going to do it today, but you can see it's going to give us our agent or practice login here. And this is a trial balance I imported this morning from Xero. So there's automatic mapping, so you don't need to map from Xero's coding to our own. So we've already got mapping from, I think, 200 as sales in Xero, and that maps into our own final accounts production codes for the year-end accounts. So you can then run off a set of accounts here. You can see how they're kind of taking shape. And we've got a really nice interactive edit mode here. So you can kind of craft your financial statements on the fly. You don't need to go into like a separate note editing window to kind of get this all edited and up to date. So you can really craft your financial statements as to what the client will expect to see, because it is a shop window. It's what the client sees at the end of the day for all your efforts. Lots of other reports there. We can then go in and file this to Companies House or create an e-sign envelope for client approval. Generally, you would go in and do the tax side first. So I've got the CT600 up here. And what I could do is simply import the accounts information from accounts into tax. That creates your tax liability up there. We would go through, do all our computations and get that completed before hopefully getting this ready for online filing. A nice quick tip here is you can post the tax journal back in to accounts. So that would mean your final tax journal there would pop into a little journal here. So it's kind of closing the loop and keeping it all integrated there for you. If we've got two-way integration with the bookkeeping provider, you could also export those journals back into the client accounting system. This is the personal tax return. It looks very similar to corporation tax. Again, come and speak to us. We'll give you a full demo of this kind of stuff for your own practice. You could add this to an e-sign envelope once that's completed. You're going to see that the client will get sent the tax return in an email like this for e-signature. So it will be branded with your client logo, and they just go in and sign that there. So it's a really simple process to get that signed off. And importantly, once that's all completed, back in the e-sign center, you're going to get notified when the client has signed those documents, and you'll be notified in the top right corner there. Okay, so just kind of before we come into land, let's just touch on the practice management side of things. Again, we had kind of requests from our accounting partners to build this kind of functionality within the suite, because if you're doing key functions like accounts and tax within it, you want to keep track of that within one place. So what we've got here are practice management workflows that allow us to just see the exact stages of each job, including accounts and tax returns, and the practice can define what those work stages are. So yeah, whatever your workflow is, bring that in and you'll be able to set up annual recurring workflows into this there. So that's a quick overview. There's plenty more to see. So please, as I say, get in touch with us. We have a sales team who work with accounting partners to really speak with you. There's no one size fits all approach. So we'd love to speak with you further and give you a full run through of the systems. There's a full list of the apps down here on the left for your convenience. So you've got practice management, time recording. So that's like a timesheet monitoring system. So you can use the stopwatch up here to record time into your timesheets and track staff time. That may be quite a hot topic at the moment with remote working, just not in terms of catching out staff, but just in terms of accountability of what they're working on and charge out rates. You've got your document manager there, that links in with your Smartvault. So that's your online client portal for documents. You'll see that a bit later on. AML Center, GDPR, tax, accounts production, and some company secretarial functions there. As I say, all in the cloud, all accessible from a centralized database wherever you are in the world. So hopefully that gives you a quick overview. How are we doing for time there, guys? I think we're just coming to the end.
Jamie, yeah, 10 seconds if you want to use that at all.
I think we'll end there.
Well done. Well
Cheers.
done, Jamie.
Thanks, guys.
Really good. Always a bit of pressure going first. So well done, buddy. One of our advisory board members for the Digital Accountancy Show, Darren Jasper, I did a webinar with him a few weeks back on Facebook Live around his technology stack, and he described TaxCalc as the hub of his practice. So yeah, if you guys need any kind of fully cloud practice software, have a look at TaxCalc. And Jamie, maybe what we can do is set up a group demo for people on the call. So we'll get that fixed in and we'll get that out.
Happy to.
Cool. So next up, without further ado, Mr. Gareth Pugh. Hi, Gareth.
How are we doing?
Yep, good. We can see your screen and we can hear.
Oh, perfect stuff. So you keep on muting. Is that straight into it, Dan, is it?
Yeah, sorry, that's me muting myself by accident, but we can hear you loud and clear.
Good, man. All right, perfect. I've started my stopwatch as well to make sure I'm on board. Okay, straight into it. So yeah, thank you very much for joining, everyone. So yeah, I just want to give you a quick 7-minute overview of Fluidly, and to kind of talk around cash flow is what we're kind of seeing. I'm sure you guys are seeing day in, day out. There's probably never been a bigger need for cash flow at the moment. So Fluidly, we are an intelligent cash flow platform. We're cash flow forecasting, credit control, and funding. We deliver all through the one platform on there. Integrate with QuickBooks and Xero. Picked up quite a few awards on the way. One of the most notable ones, picked up the Xero Practice App of the Year. That was in March of this year. What I want to talk about is a little bit around the kind of problem that we solve. And a few statistics on the screen there is around kind of, businesses and cash flow and kind of the struggles that they're seeing. And this was prior to kind of all the COVID stuff that's happened of late. So 82% of businesses, fail due to poor cash flow management. 48% are cash flow negative. And then 69% of business owners are sleepless due to cash flow. What we have seen is them percentages definitely have crept a little bit higher, but probably one of the biggest ones is around that kind of sleepless due to cash flow and not having that kind of transparency to build for the future. And that's kind of where we come in. That's where we want to support. So one, support you with your clients, but also support you with kind of your journey and what you're looking to do. So what we see so many now is, so many partners are wanting to go more digitalized, they want to do more cloud stuff, and they want to offer more value. So where we see that is in kind of 3 ways, is that kind of app stack. It's where you get that kind of data entry right, you get into your cloud platform on there, but the next bit is that kind of results layer, that intelligence layer, where you look to offer a little bit more, that continued forecasting, monitoring, and that's where Fluidly comes in and supports you. So I'm going to jump into the software and give you a quick little run through of how that is. So we have 2 variants of Fluidly. We have Fluidly Start and Fluidly Standard. Both of the products look and feel exactly the same. The Standard just has a little bit more functionality, and it's an organic upgrade route, for clients, obviously through their accountants. What we do is we give unlimited clients free of charge on the Fluidly Starter. So that means you can offer cash flow at scale on there. What you're seeing in front of you is the Fluidly portfolio. And this is all about kind of being a more proactive accountant. So where it's very reactive, where clients get in touch with you when that kind of problem's knocking on the door, is it lets you see things in advance. So looking at opening cash, debtors and creditors, getting them kind of key insights. But the beauty of it is that you can access any single client as you go through. So the product I'm showing you at the moment is on the home screen. So what you can see on here is this is all about you offering stronger conversations and having better insights around your clients. So you can kind of see what their cash position is, what's coming in, what's going out, what's expected, But on the right-hand side is you'll be able to also see kind of what's overdue, what customers make up the highest of that percentage of that total, what the current kind of collection days are across the business. But what we also do is we use artificial intelligence to build out that forecast. So where historically you may be based on due dates, is what we do is look at how they historically pay, and then we build that into the cash flow. So that means two things. One, increases kind of the accuracy of the payment dates, but two, means that you can offer cash flow at scale there as well. A couple of our bits that we go, so on the forecasting side, is we have the Fluidly Starter is a 3-month forecast, so that will take you from quarter to quarter, or the Fluidly Standard is a 12-month forecast on there. And that's looking at kind of the opening cash, you know, what's kind of coming in, what's going out. You can put in thresholds of when a business wants to know if they're going to fall below a certain threshold, so it kind of tells them what their runway is. You can look on this on a daily, a weekly, a monthly, download it to Excel. So if any clients prefer to work in that Excel format, you can download it within minutes. It'll bring through an Excel document. That'll have all your nominals down the left-hand side, all your actuals and all your forecasts. So it means if you're looking to offer them kind of cash flow services or understand your clients better, you can do that in scale on there. Below that, it will show you kind of the cash movement. So that will bring the information directly from your account software on there. We have a daily breakdown, works a bit like a bank statement. So you can stretch this to a period that you want, but you can also search for any particular customer or invoice on there as well. If you were looking at boosting the cash flow, we have the credit control functionality. So you can actually chase directly through the software. You can then add notes and CRM, so you can have that kind of one version of the truth. And then we use the artificial intelligence to drop that into the different buckets on there as well. And then two really key bits is around kind of scenarios. So this was something that we're up, obviously for awards of how we've built and landed this. And this is around kind of building scenarios for your business. If you wanted to look at kind of what it might be by putting people on furlough or certain customers are going to drop off, you can kind of see what the impact would be to that business on there. It might be along the lines of you want to look at maybe hiring new staff. Then you can build out scenarios and you can then kind of see what the impact will be on the cash flow side of there as well. A lot that you can do on that side. And then the kind of final piece of the jigsaw is the funding. So what we do is we bring the data in from your accounts platform, we integrate it alongside Companies House, credit reports, and then we can show you what's available on the funding perspective there. So what we have is, you know, the coronavirus lending scheme, or it might be business loans. We have a host of lenders where it shows pre-qualified amounts, and we are fully FCA regulated and have a full broker team that would support you along that lines as well. A lot of fantastic stuff that we could show you on there, but obviously not enough to show you in kind of 7 minutes. Just a quick one to finish off on the kind of last minute, and I wanted to tell you a little bit around kind of how our membership, how we work with our partners, because I think it's one of the strongest kind of propositions that we have on there. There we go. And it's just a little bit around the kind of support that we do on there. So we start very low in regards to our kind of membership. We put in, you know, full kind of training, support, marketing collateral. So we work with practices, you know, from being very entry level to obviously growing practices on there as well. So what we do is we sit down, do tailored kind of plans with yourself. We give you that portfolio access. We'll give you unlimited clients so you can see every single client on there. But what we do is we think about the true relationship. You want to sit down with you and put a kind of cash flow and plan and how we can obviously support you and support your clients going forward. Bit whirlwind in a Geordie accent, probably a little bit hard to understand in some aspects. So if you would like to find a little bit more out kind of fluidly on there, then please, when Dan does the poll later on, is drop fluidly in the box. I'm more happy to pick up a second kind of conversation. We also have some upcoming webinars, one being on August the 6th as well, where we'll go through the product a little bit more in depth. But yeah, thank you very much for your time. And that is me, Dan.
Nice one. Thanks so much, Gareth. If anybody on the call would like to ask Gareth a question, just pop it in the Q&A. Gareth, cash flow forecasting as a service, huge thing right now with kind of CBILS loans, kind of repayments being made as of next year. Businesses need to know what's going on in terms of cash in their business. So yeah, make sure you reach out to Gareth and the guys at Fluidly. So thanks so much, Gareth.
Thank you, Doug.
Up next, Practice Ignition and Trent McLaren. Hi, Trent.
Hello, Dan. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, buddy. And you?
Well, very well. Glad to be here.
Good. We can see your screen and hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. I've hit my stop clock. Let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Great to see you here. 7 minutes to run you through what we love and what we talk about at Practice Ignition every single day. First things first, we're a team of 130 odd people, and when we used to hang out at conferences, this is what we would look like. We like wearing matching t-shirts and sometimes even bright orange shoes. You've maybe even seen us at a pre-con party, shared a few beers. We enjoy all of those things, and hopefully you do as well. We're a team of accountants, innovators, and developers. Our platform was born and built out of an accounting firm in Sydney. I am from Australia, but I live here in London in North Greenwich. Just over 3,000 accounting firms on our platform. We see around 200 firms a month coming onto our platform at the moment, which is fantastic, a lot of growth. We process just under $1 billion in payments per year, and we serve firms across the UK, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and North America as well. So more importantly, what problem do we solve? And this is really important for you to understand, where do we fit into your practice? So typically, if you start with the engagement letter and that process of engaging a new client, winning them and onboarding them into your firm, that process is generally really disjointed. Typically, it's a Word document. It looks a little bit like this. You try to get your piece of Word document paper. You need to edit the document, print it, sign it, scan it, send it to your client. Your client then unfortunately has to do the same thing. If they're lucky, the printer worked the first time. If you're even lucky, they know where the printer is or they own one. I don't own one. I don't know a lot of small business customers that typically do anymore, especially now that we're remote, virtual, and moving everything online. Getting paid is also another problem that a lot of people face. If you do set them on payment plans, sometimes it's also paper. Other times you're just hoping and praying they pay you at the end of the month based on the due date of the invoice, which they don't always do. There's no consistency and you have no control of your own cash flow. Lastly, how do you keep track of all of your engagements? When I talk to a lot of firms and say, talk to me about your revenue, how is it split? What are your most popular services? What are you selling more of compared to last month? What's your focus moving forward? I get a lot of blank stares. A lot of people don't talk about it because they don't have the data. They don't know what KPIs to track. This is why you need Practice Ignition. We were born specifically out of this pain. We had our own problems in our accounting firm in Sydney where we wanted to engage clients and have them sign the proposal, give us the billing information, and then automatically drive invoices, jobs, and payment reconciliations on the back of that. This is what it would look like. It's very professional and on brand. You get a nice digital proposal that has your logos, your brand colors, client videos, so you can have videos just like this in your proposal, and a marketing brochure that my team will actually create for you. Every single practice comes on, gets their own marketing brochure that we custom build. We do around 250 of these every single month, and they're fantastic. We get a lot of feedback on these. We collect all the billing information up front. So we are a payment gateway as much as we're a proposal system. So when your client signs your proposal, they can't not give you the billing. We process direct debit, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, and this is all built into our white labeled version of Stripe. So in terms of security and payment processing, we're using one of the best pieces of technologies on the planet. And there's no doubt that you have also used this before in your own business or in your own life. Everything is then digitally signed. So when a proposal is signed and it's been created, all the services you've put in will automatically bring in those terms into your engagement letter. So you're not having to spend a lot of time trying to cuss them out, figure out if there's any typos. It just happens magically behind the scenes. We also have a partnership with ACCA that launched this month or last month, where that 174-page ACCA template we can build automatically within 3 minutes. It's pretty special, and it took a lot of time for me to read through all that, and we're very, very happy with the outcome, which is great. In terms of integrations, you can see this within our products. So some of our core integrations are things like QuickBooks, Xero, Xero Practice Manager, Carbon, but then we also have our Zapier integrations, and you can see tools like Pixie, who are also on this session today, bottom right corner, and a lot of firms wanting to deploy proposals into tools like that as well. This is a bit of an example of that flow, just so you understand what I mean. Step 1, proposal gets signed. We've created it. Step 2, it's been signed. Step 3, we then kick out to deploy jobs, invoicing into, say, Xero or QuickBooks. Payment is then collected automatically by us and then reconciled automatically behind the scenes. You've done nothing to this point. You did step 1. Our system did the rest. Your life got a hell of a lot easier, I promise. We help you. Our job is to help you establish, manage, and maintain your relationship. So once that proposal's been signed, we're helping you keep track of all the revenue. We're helping you understand what's billed manually and what's billed automatically. What are we billing for you automatically? You can see the details on the bottom, or you can pick and choose the things you want to bill manually, schedule them for the future with an invoice, with a reconciliation. You then can see and track every single invoice that gets sent out, and that will link directly to the ledger, whether that's Xero or QuickBooks, all from within PI. How do we support you? Most important, This is what your 90-day onboarding journey looks like with us. Your first call, ASAP, you meet with our customer success team. You have a second meeting within 2 weeks. You have a customer success team again within 3 to 4 weeks. At the end of 90 days, you've been triaged down through either our education specialist or our account manager. The reason I show these slides off is because we get so much feedback around how awesome our client onboarding is for you as a practice. We don't want you to buy something to leave on the shelf. We don't want you to buy something and hope that you figure out how to use it. We'd actually rather just guide you through the whole process with our experience through this. And we do this every single month. This is pictures of our UK team, and I could tell you how fantastic they are, but I have so many comments from customers that absolutely love working with our success managers, specialists, and account managers. We also do process mapping sessions, and this is an example of what that would look like. So we help sit down and figure out what does your stack look like from end to end and map it all out. We'll actually give you something to take away and go, oh, cool, this is what happens at this stage. This is where PI comes in. This is where my workflow comes in. This is something we do all the time with our customers, and it's just part of your experience with Practice Ignition. What our customers say, this was something that came in only this week, which you can find. I pulled this from the Xero review site. We've got over 300 5-star reviews, beautiful proposals, flawless integrations, and I guess the support and advice from the team is on a different level from any other software I've worked with. Again, hence I really wanted to show you what that onboarding experience looks like. We get talked about it to that all the time. My call to action for you, start a trial. Jump to our website, practiceignition.com, start a free trial. We're also going to have a webinar next week to deep dive into the product and how it actually works. But if I've enticed you even just a little bit, please come and check us out. I hope you've enjoyed this 7 minutes, and I am at time.
Well done, Trent. Well done. Great presentation, buddy, and love the enthusiasm as well. It's what we all need on a Friday. But Trent, from my side, products like Practice Ignition, such an important product for the practice. You know, it enables you to, as you're sitting down with potential clients, it allows you to kind of literally tick box products and services that the client wants. It then gives you a monthly price. It then gives you the ability to get an answer there and then. It produces everything for you in a heartbeat. Proposals, engagement letters, everything.
Everything. It's that one place to keep all your revenue under management. That's the way we look at it.
Absolutely.
Managing all the relationships, all the revenue.
With a potential client, you know, a week, you try and get the quote out to them as quickly as possible. It's then been a couple of weeks, they make a decision, or they've forgotten about what you said, and the positioning isn't quite as strong. So with this, it allows you to get that information to them immediately as soon as you're in the meeting, so you can close the deal. Brilliant. 100%. Thanks so much for that, Trent. Great 7 minutes. I'm going to hand over to Kelso Pinto from Pixie. Hi, Kelso.
Hey, Dan. Hey, folks. Happy Friday. Hope your week's been good. Thanks, Dan, for having us in this event. I'm Celso, one of the co-founders here at Pixie. And today I want to show you why small firms love Pixie. So let's get on with the demo. There are 3 things that I want to cover. I want to cover 3 day-to-day workflows, things that you do every day, ideally many times a day as well. So after this demo, you'll also see how you can start using Pixie right away in as little as 5 minutes. So the first thing I want to go over is how to turn emails into actionable tasks, ensuring that nothing falls through the cracks. The second thing I want to show you is how to transfer your to-dos into Pixie with our ad hoc tasks. And this can be to-dos that you have in your notebook, in your Excel spreadsheet, in your Asana, or anywhere else. And the last thing that I want to cover is how to create client records, onboarding those clients, and creating the recurring tasks necessary to stay ahead of those deadlines. So without further ado, and hoping I'm not going to break anything this time around, here is Pixie. So this should be a familiar site for you at this point, which is my Outlook inbox. And this is quite a bit of a mess. There's a lot of stuff here. I don't really know what I need to do here. So switching into Pixie, everything is prioritized for me. So it's automatically prioritized. Instead of having to deal with hundreds of emails, I only need to deal with 3 of them. And when it comes to actually taking action on the emails, it couldn't be easier than this. So I have this email here from a client asking me for BBL help. No problem. I'm going to create a task from the email and boom, here we go. Task created. It's in the system. It has a deadline. So I can take that off my to-do list, of my inbox, go into my to-do list, and Here we have the task. Now with this task, I can do any number of things, like set a deadline, for example, and let's put the deadline for the 7th of August. I can also delegate this to one of my team members. So I'll go and delegate this to Tim. It's no longer my to-do. Now it's on the to-do list for Kim. And it's this easy to ensure that you won't miss anything again. Now, the next thing I wanted to go over is how to transfer your to-do list into Pixie with our ad hoc tasks. Now, probably the #1 question that you are asking yourself at this point is, how long is this stuff going to take, really? How long is it going to take me to set up my own firm here in Pixie? I'm really happy to tell you that it should take about the same time of this demo. So about 5 minutes. What I want you to do is, once you start trying to Pixie, you can create an ad task here. And let's say that because today it's the 31st, we have payroll for Pixie, we have payroll for Cardinal Consulting, so on and so forth. So you can literally just dump all of your tasks into Pixie right now. And with that, they'll be in the system, they'll have a deadline, and you can reassign them. The other thing is, and taking it to the next step, is that you may want to have game plans, as in you have a payroll, you have a process to execute that payroll, and you're now thinking about how to hand off the payroll to other staff members who might not be as acquainted as you are with the process. So how does that work in Pixie? Watch the tutorial. I'm going to ask it to add a tutorial as a little task in there. Now process payroll. Sorry, my fingers are tied. Kind of nervous. And the other one, let's say process payroll sent to client for approval. All right, great. Now you're going to see something that you don't see anywhere else. So here with the watch the tutorial, what does that mean exactly? What that means is that you can ask your team members this process to go through your Loom video. So you can record the Loom video, post that into Pixie, and now it's part of the process. So anyone that picks up this task, even if they don't know what to do, all they need to do is watch this Loom video and follow the process to describe here. So what we'll want to do now is save this as a template, and we'll call it TAS payroll template, because this is going to make it really easy to reuse in the future as well. So I'll go back to my to-do list here, and I go to Cardinal Consulting. All I need to do now is just grab that TAS payroll. Oh, which one was it? I think it was this one. So here we go. It brings the Loom video and everything. So that's how easy it is to get started, get your processes in there, get your tasks in there, and then start molding Pixie into your firm, into your own processes. Now, the last thing I want to go over is onboarding clients and recurring tasks. So obviously this can be done automatically, and get to that in a minute. But right now I want to create a client here, yes, Friday demo client. And I'm going to skip through that. So there. Now there's a bit of information here that I want to copy from elsewhere because it's going to help me show you another Pixie feature. So I'm going to create this client here. Yes, Friday client demo. So far so good. Should be a familiar process. But the client has a number of services that they accepted on practice ignition, for example, like bookkeeping. There's a bit of compliance as well. So let's go with confirmation statement. Let's go with the VAT return and the yearly accounts. So we'll go, and in one step, we just booked all the services that the client wanted us to accept. And the other thing that you'll notice right away is that the bookkeeping is already scheduled, because this is part of the template. It runs every Friday, in this case for us here on this demo account. Now, the confirmation statement and the yearly accounts are not yet scheduled. So how can we get that onto the system? What I'm going to do is update from Company's House here, and Pixie is going to grab the information from Company's House with regards to these dates. And here we go, confirmation statement date on the 25th of Jan, and the year-end date on the 30th of April. And now if I go into my scheduled tasks, here we are. So they're already scheduled to start at the right time, ensuring that I'm going to meet these deadlines. So it's this easy to get started with Pixie, and we're strong believers that less is more. So your practice management takes 6 minutes to set up, definitely not 6 months. There's lots more to explore with Pixie as well. You'll see how you can use Zapier to connect Pixie with Practice Ignition and other apps that enable you to creating and onboarding clients the minute they accept your proposal. With Companies House integration, you can keep the key dates synced effortlessly. And also Pixie helps you with secure attachments, helps you keep GDPR compliant without the hassle of a document portal. So if you want any of these things like tasks and emails automatically organized and prioritized for you, recurring tasks to help you stay ahead of deadlines, send automatic reminders to clients, send in your behalf as if you are the one writing those emails. The client records are automatically updated, and there's a clear list of what needs to be worked on, what's assigned to whom, what's in progress, and when things are due. Then give us a try. I invite you to start a 30-day free trial on usepixie.com. You'll have access to all the features, no credit card required. And should you subscribe to Pixie, you'll be happy to know that it's only £49 a month, no limit on clients and users. Thanks very much.
Hey, Celso, well done. Really good 7 minutes. I'm hearing lots of good things in the marketplace from accountants at the moment who are using Celso. We've got a couple of people, a couple of accountants on our advisory board who are using it, and the feedback's been exceptional. So, and love the interface, the user interface in there. Looks really good. So thank you, Celso. Thank you for your time. If anybody has any questions, please fire them across to Celso. Up next, Lisa Fox. Are you in the building?
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How are you, Dan?
Good. Very well. Thank you very much. I'll swiftly hand the floor over to you, Lisa.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm just going to share my screen. Hopefully you can all see it. Apologies. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about Satago and how it can help your practice. So there's a little bit of a hierarchy to our platform. You as the accountant will have the platform and you'll offer it to your clients as well to improve their business. So Satago's revolutionary platform enables you as the accountant to automate the growing demand for advisory services without increasing time commitment on your company. So the practice, it helps you know your practice and its clients. So Satago provides you with the analysis you need to understand your clients by allowing you to expand your offering with your limited time investment. It also helps you, our automated credit control tool helps you automate the admin burden of manually chasing any statements, reminders, and thank you emails. And we also provide you with access to alternative finance to help you bridge those gaps in cash flow as well. So the core offering has 4 initial products. So you have your practice analysis tool, which gives you a clear overview of your client's debtor book. Our risk insight tool, which will help you make more informed decisions. It gives you your client's credit history. It allows you to make any new intelligent changes based on the information that you have in front of you. It also, our credit control tool helps you automate statements, reminders and thank you emails to help you chase those automatically. And our alternative to finance product helps you have bridge gaps in cash flow with selective invoice financing. So the overview of our practice analysis tool is that it will help you to pick up on reports, so such as age data reports, risk segment reports, where you can easily switch between you and your clients to get a clear overview of your practice. Our reports help you to immediately make decisions around how to minimize risk and helps you to be able to give your clients more informative decisions. Our credit search tool allows you to gain credit risk insight on who your client is considering working with, so you can provide clear advice to empower their trading decisions. You also gain access to a clear risk reporting dashboard that provides real-time notifications on any changes in their profile. Our credit control tool, it links directly with your accountancy package. So it's going to chase any unpaid invoices. So once they've gone past their due date, it's going to click in and it's going to start to chase them automatically. So it links directly with all cloud accountancy packages and over 300 desktop packages. So whether you're using Sage, Xero, QuickBooks, Cashflow, Free Agent, all of those, it's going to link directly with them. So the Satago credit control tool integrates directly with the accountancy package and it chases any unpaid invoice, reminder statements and thank you emails. Your clients can set up the payment reminders monthly statements and emails to help them get paid faster and reinvest their time in business growth. So the selective invoice finance tool, our finance tool allows you to help your clients gain access to the working capital fast, helping your clients bridge gaps in cash flow without the need for long-term contracts or hidden fees. Clear, transparent, ethical finance. I'm going to talk about all of these products and then go into the actual platform so you can see it for yourselves. The benefits to you as the accountant. Our automated debt collection tool takes the hassle out of chasing invoices. It gives you more time to advise clients and grow your practice. Satago gives you the full access to credit reports and risk insights within the platform. So there's no need to pay for any other credit reporting subscriptions. You can earn an extra revenue from this, so you can offer it as a service to your clients. And by then, that way they're helping improve their business as well. You can also earn commission when your clients use our selective invoice financing facility. I'm just going to switch over to our platform now and show you it all in real time. So here we have our 3 core products: selective invoice finance, credit control, and risk insights. So basically there's a hierarchy to the platform where you as the accountant will have use of all 3 services, but you'll also add your clients to the platform so that they too can also use the platform for themselves. Apologies, I'm having a little bit of an IT nightmare this morning, so please bear with me. There we go. Apologies for that, everyone. So you as the accountant will be able to add your clients to the platform. If you imagine this is a list of all of your clients, you'll be able to add them to the actual platform, and then you'll be able to switch into the customer and get an overview of their practice as well. So you can see here the customer names along the top, and they also have use of all of 3 services as well. So one of the main things built into this, as I was mentioning, is you have the finance, credit control, and risk insights. As part of the risk insights, you'll also have full credit search reports. So you can pull up a credit check on any new clients that you're taking on, or else you can also offer it as a service to your existing customers so that they can come to you and ask you to do full credit search reports on a new contract that they're taking on. So everybody on the platform will have the snippet, which are unlimited, where they can do a quick search of maybe a new client that they're taking on. But then they can also come to you as the accountant and ask you to run off a full credit report as well. Within the risk insights, as I was mentioning, you'll have the practice analysis tool. We like to call it PAT. So PAT will give you an analysis of not only your own platform and your own debtor book, but you'll also be able to switch into your clients as well. So by switching into your clients, you get an overview of their age debtors, the risk segments, and an overview of their customers as well. So if there are any changes in their customers, it's going to let you know. It's going to send you a notification so that you can monitor that accordingly. The customer credit summary will allow you to get an overview of your existing client base. So you have your list of your customers, what their recommended credit score is, what their outstanding balance is, and their recommended credit limit. So it tracks this through their limited company number and gives them an overview of if there are any changes, their existing credit score, their existing credit limit, but it also lets them know if there's any changes with that as well. So you're always on top of your platform and you're always on top of your existing clients, and you can manage that accordingly. The credit control is an automated credit control solution. As I said, it's based on invoice reminders, statements, and thank you emails, fully customizable, links directly to your own email account, and chases unpaid invoices. But we're running an offer at the moment whereby we're giving away 3 months free subscription to the platform. So it's a rolling month-to-monthly contract, and by that you can just jump in, use the platform. If you don't like it after that certain period of time, again, you're not tied into any contracts. So basically an overview is that it's no contract based, you are month to month, and the same with our finance products as well. I can see Dan shouting this one at me, so apologies if I ran over.
You're good, Lisa. Well
Thank
done.
you for listening.
No
I
worries.
have apologies for the IT blip.
Yeah, no, it was fine. It was a little bit laggy in places, but it was absolutely fine. Like Satago is a fantastic product. It can do your credit control or your client's credit control. It can help you raise alternative finance when you need it, either for growth or to plug those cash flow gaps. And it has all that insights and analysis information as well, which helps you become that kind of trusted advisor. And we're giving more support to our clients and more information, which is good. Yeah, great product. If anybody, you've got a question, a couple of questions in the Q&A, Lisa, so I'll leave those to you. If anybody has any more questions, fire them across to Lisa, and you can reach out to her also at the end of the session as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
I'll hand over to Tush Patel from Capium. Hi, Tush.
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
Not too bad, and you?
Not bad, not bad. Lovely day. Let's,
so I can see your screen.
Can you see the screen? Oh, I don't. Just bear with me. There we go. Share.
There you go. We've got you.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Tush.
Okay, brilliant. Hi, guys. My name's Tush Patel. I'm one of the co-founding directors here at Capium. I guess after 10 years of marriage, I'm on my first speed date, so I should finding this really exciting. Let's hopefully try and make some connections here. What I want us to do is just look at taking a step back before I go into the whole Capium aspect. Think about the new world and the way of working. I don't want us to go all doom and gloom, but COVID and lockdown has changed the way that we work. We've all been forced into leveraging upon remote working and actually proved that it does work. We can do it. It's forced many of us, even tech companies like ourselves, to question: what do we need, and do we need to have better systems, and to reevaluate them against what we currently have. COVID certainly reinforced this, and obviously the merit of the cloud. And looking at various different propositions out there, it's definitely here to stay, guaranteed. It allows us to collaborate with our teams, clients, and work more effectively through the use of better systems. But at the same time, there we go. At the same time, what we've got is we're seeing the landscape where there's an onset of furloughs and redundancies coming through. I kind of think this is a bit of an eye of a storm. And do we actually need to revisit costs within all aspects of business, including practices as well? Having said this, what we've got is a period now where some people will see this as a period of opportunity. And we normally see sort of like budding breed of entrepreneurs or new business owners sort of like pursue their passion and form new businesses at the same time. I can speak firsthand about this because at the last recession, I started my first business, which I saw through to exit as well. So fortunate enough to go through that. But also there's a negative aspect where during the downturn, we also see an increase in fraudulent activity and financial crime. I think this is where the FRC recently came out and reinforced the message that we need to carry out checks and make sure we do them diligently. So what's the conundrum here? Effectively, what we've got is how does the conundrum, so the conundrum for the accountant is how do you actually continue to not only maintain your current customers' businesses, so effectively help them survive and then thrive again, but also cater for the new budding entrepreneurs that are coming through as well, who probably are a bit more, let's say, cash sensitive, yet more flexible to open ways of working. So the dilemma for the accountant perspective is how can you better leverage on the systems out there so that you can help with all the points here, all the 4 points here on the left-hand side, and yet continue as a practice to maintain your profit margins, if not, try to better them as well. What some of you may have sort of picked up on by now or not is there are some common values here for you, for your existing customers, for your new customers as well. And there's a sweet spot to assess any technology on, and that's something that unlocks time, okay, so reduces time, reduces cost as well. We've actually saved some customers over 50-60% on their incumbent software at the moment, and also maintains high compliance as well. That has been part of Capium's DNA since we've set up. And we've always fought the corner of the accountant and continue to serve them. Our mantra has always been, what does a firm need? And can we bring this in for them ourselves? We put the control back into your hands. I guess after all, COVID has probably re-emphasized the fact that you're certainly amongst the unsung heroes, shall we say, of the financial perspective. So what's the Capium way? We remove the need of, let's say, a patchwork quilt approach, various different reasons, things like GDPR, NTD, IR35, who knows what next is coming. So there's lots of legislation. So we try and build that within one aspect. I still remember a time when I sat with my accountant years back, and he had one thing for bookkeeping, another thing for payroll, tax, accounts. Let's not even get started on practice management back then. So for this reason, what we've done is we've actually created our own ecosystem to give you everything that you need that's core to your practice. What we don't have time to focus on, where there's other people that are doing it better, for example, what we'll do is we'll integrate with them. We've done an integration last year from company secretarial perspective, and we're about to launch our anti-money laundering partner over the next couple of weeks, and followed by, I think it's a cash flow funding option within the system as well over the summer period. We now sit with about 1,200 firms UK-wide who've served over 185,000 SMEs through Capium's platform. And we're hugely proud to have actually won a couple of awards last year, including the Accounting Excellence Small Business Award, which is voted for by the practitioners. The best part of all of this is you don't only collaborate with your staff, but you can also set up your users, your client users too. Okay, so in that way you can capture, you can connect, you can collaborate directly through one system and speed up the process whilst adding value to your services. So I'm just going to quickly flick to the demo, the product actually, I should say. So this is the ecosystem as you see it. It's broken down into various different modules. So you're free to pick and choose whichever modules you deem fit for your practice. The payroll, whenever you run it, feeds directly into the bookkeeping. The bookkeeping, the TBs feed directly into the accounts production. But at this point here, if you're not utilizing any of these modules, you can actually integrate directly through with sort of like the more established vendors, shall we say, the Xeros, the free agents, the QBOs of the world here as well. And this information directly then flows all the way to the CTs and the self-assessments, which includes 100s, 800s, and 900s. And obviously for your budding entrepreneurs and your current customers, you can maintain their details here through company secretarial. And from a practice perspective, you've got practice management to stay on top of your tasks, your deadlines. I'll just touch on that shortly. Just to flick on this, if you set up your customers, they've also got access to the app. So any receipts that they scan, automatically you get an alert here, global level at Capi scan. Just give me 1 second. There we go. And then after that,
sorry to interrupt quickly. Are you sharing are you in the demo in the product itself?
Yeah, can you not see it?
We can see the presentation slide.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't know how to get out of that, to be honest with you.
We can see you've closed the presentation down now. Don't worry, I've hit the pause button. So if we can get it up in the next few seconds, that would be good. No worries if not.
There we go. Screen share. Sorry, mate. Can you see that now?
Maybe 2 seconds. Yep, we're in. Perfect.
Okay, sorry.
You've got about a minute to go, Tush, but we'll go for a bit longer. So.
All right, cool. No worries. Sorry, guys. And then so obviously the modules here, what happens is the payroll feeds directly to the bookkeeping. But if you're not utilizing any of these, you've got the accounts production. So they're linked directly to bookkeeping, other providers, which includes Xero, QuickBooks, and Free Agent, for example. And the information flows directly through all the way to here. Finally, what you can do is you've got the bookkeeping here. So this is a dashboard. Any information that your customers send through, like receipts, directly gets stored here. You've then got the ability to scan, reconcile it all the way through the system. The corporation tax aspects comes in here. So your final accounts. Sorry, guys, it keeps on jumping here. Yeah, your accounts look something like this. So anything yellow is tagged, and all the way through it sits there. What I'll do is finally, guys, we've got a small business pack which we're sending out to customers at the moment. So if you really want this, what we can do is it's sort of like a startup gift. It's a new business startup accounting guide, which you can pass on to your budding entrepreneurs. It explains how to set up companies, VAT, all types of businesses, and more importantly, why the need for the accountant, and obviously for the need for you to take care of this on their behalf. Obviously, if you want more information, I'm sorry about the product demo, but yeah, please do get in contact with us. I'm more than happy to do that in more of a deep dive.
Cheers, Tush. I was speaking to an accountant, Dan Ryder. We also featured him in our digital accountancy magazine. And Dan's exact words were, "Capium is my secret weapon." which I thought was quite a nice way to describe Capium. So yeah, let's get a full-blown demo booked in, Tush, and anybody on the call that wants to explore the demo at a bit more depth, encompasses the whole practice suite. So yeah, we'll get that booked in, and we'll send that out to everybody after the session today. Nice one. Cheers, Tush. Appreciate your time. I'm going to hand over to George from Smartvault. Hi, George.
Hi, Dan. How you doing?
Not too bad, and you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Really good.
Of course.
Great. So hopefully, I'll just share my screen. You should be able to hopefully see that now. Does that come through, Dan?
Yep, we've got it.
Perfect. So, hi everyone. My name is George Kaisis. I'm an account manager here at Smartvault. And for those of you who don't know much about Smartvault, we are a document management, document storage, and document file sharing system. So that basically means we're a place in the cloud where you can chuck all of your documents, whether that's for internal purposes only. So maybe any documents that you want to store away for your own future reference, but also as a way to securely share documents back with your client. So your client will have a portal where they can log into, they can basically see the documents you're sharing with them, and they can securely share documents back with you. We're basically there as a way to replace the use of email to share sensitive documents. Obviously, since GDPR has come into play, we know it's not as secure as what it once was. We want to be moving that sharing system to a secure online portal like Smartvault. Every portal that we have is going to be fully branded to you and your practice. So we have your logo, color scheme in line with your website. And we can also link with your website. So we can have a tab on there which says something like client login or client portal to give your clients a feel of working in your environment, not Smartvault's. We upload, every document we upload is encrypted to the standard AES 256. So the same sort of stuff you get for your online banking. So really secure stuff. And we also have, we can set up notifications and access rights. So you know when your client shares a document with you or when they've viewed your document, and you can also let your client know when you've shared a document with them in the portal. We do have quite a few integrations, and I'll just jump into this slide here before I jump into a really quick demo of the platform. So one to note there is TaxCalc, who we heard from earlier with Jamie. We have a really nice integration with them and releasing a lot more functionality between the two platforms next month, which will be really nice. DocuSign is a really good feature for us as well, where we can basically send out a document to our client for signature. They can sign it, and as part of the integration, the final signed copy just automatically appears in Smartvault, and you get that notification when it's signed off. A few other names there who I'm sure you're aware of, and we can definitely touch on them later on, maybe if we schedule a demo after this. So I will jump into the demo platform, and this is basically the dashboard, where, as I said, we can have this branded to you. I've just set up my own little practice here. If I go into the files and folders section, we've got an idea of what we can offer. So we've got it split into 3 sections: firm, employees, and clients. Now in the firm section, that's split into internal documents and public documents. So public documents is basically a really nice way of you sharing any generic document to your entire client base all at once. So if you've got anything like a newsletter, updates on MTD, privacy policies, a lot of our clients at the moment are using this to share documents around COVID-19 and the furlough scheme. So this is a place where you can just send that document once, all of your clients are able to see it. So kind of like a client library. And then on the other end, we've got internal documents. So this could be set up like a company intranet. So just for you and your members of staff to refer back to any documentation which you've got in there. So examples, HR records, training documents, and so on. In a similar way, we've got employees. So I've just got a folder for myself in here, but you could have a folder for each member of staff. In that folder could be any document associated to that person. So maybe an employee contract or an employee handbook. And the main thing with this is we can use access rights to make sure that one member of staff can't see the details of another member's contract. So it's completely restricted to that person. Now in the client section here, my client list is broken down A to Z. And in the I to L section, I've got my client at the top here, Ipswich Town Football Club. Now, one of the main ways how Smartvault gears itself towards the accounting profession is with its folder templates. So if you're currently working out of maybe a local machine or a storage platform like Dropbox or OneDrive, you've got to add the client and manually upload those folders. So for example, payroll, tax, VAT, and so on. With Smartvault, we take that away from you. So we make it a lot quicker and more consistent with one client to the next. So when you add a client to the system, Smartvault will ask you for some information about that document, that client. So you can say that client has got, they're an entity, they're an individual, we do this type of service for them. At that point, Smartvault will create those folders for you straight away, and all the subfolders and all the access rights. So if I jump into the tax folder here, you can see this is a client-facing folder because I've got these little people on there. And if we just jump into client source documents, it's a folder which I've set up for my client to be able to send me a document relating to tax. So in the access rights here, you can see they've got access to send me documents. And they're also going to send me a notification when it's been sent to me. On the other end now, if I show you, this is just a folder where I want to share documents back with the client. You can see I've now restricted the access. My client can only view the documents I send to them. We can also get those notifications set up. You can receive an idea of when your clients looked at that as well. As I mentioned, we do integrate with DocuSign. So next to our document here, we've got a signature icon where we can just send that out. Our client can sign the document, get it back to us, automatically populates in Smartvault, which is really nice. Really straightforward way of sharing documents. So if we just want to click in this space here, we can either drag and drop, or we can just find a document on a local machine and then share that back with our client. Now, I appreciate there might be some of you thinking, moving away from potentially email as sharing documents might not be something your clients want to do. And rather than getting documents from their portal, we can still securely send this over email by encrypting the email and password protecting that document as well. For compliance, we do have a really nice activity log. So this basically just shows you a trail of everything happening inside the system. So you can see I've logged in here, I've created a file, deleted a file, created another file. We can see what the file was and when that action occurred. It just gives you an idea of really what's happening with your clients. You can see who's logging in, doing what. We can drill down over periods of time as well. So really granular, gives you a really great idea of what's happening with all your data. I've got a minute to go, so I will give you a really quick idea of how we can add those folder templates. So let's say we're doing some payroll work for these clients at the top here. We can just select them, add this little this icon which says create new engagements, and then we just say what type of service we're providing for that client. So if I select payroll, all of those payroll folders, the subfolders, and default access rights will apply to each of those clients I've selected. So it really does speed up that folder creation practice really. And we can customize all of our folder templates to exactly how you work. So we basically get you on a call with our consultant, we set all that up for you, and obviously train you on the software. If any of you would like to see a more in-depth demo, this has been super quick. Just head to our website, fill in this little box, and then that'll come through to myself or one of my colleagues, and we can get on a more in-depth demo. Thanks for listening.
Well done, George. Well done. Lovely looking interface. Fully cloud-based document management is the way to go. So if anybody's interested in the guys at Smartvault, we have a number of accountants that use them. So feel free to reach out to George, and we'll also send out the link to the demo in a follow-up email as well. Any Q&As, hit the Q&A tab and ask, fire away some questions at George. Thanks for that, George. Thanks for your time.
Cheers,
we will move on to Ollie Christian at Starling Bank. Hi, Ollie.
Hi there, Dan. How are you doing?
Not too bad. If you want to share your screen, and I'll just give you confirmation we can see it. Perfect. Yeah. You're in.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for joining the call, and I really appreciate Dan and the wider team getting this organised for us. What I'm going to do today is just go straight into giving everyone a bit more of a higher level overview of Starling Bank, more specifically around our business current account and how we're helping to support accountants and hopefully your clients when it comes to business banking. Just a quick overview from sort of Starling in general then. So we were founded back in 2014 by our CEO, Anne, who wanted to build essentially a different kind of bank from scratch after working in the industry for a number of years at executive levels with a lot of the traditional tier one banks across Europe. In terms of what we offer, we're a fully licensed digital bank. We're award winning, and we offer personal, joint and Euro accounts currently, as well as our business accounts. In terms of the account itself, we're fully regulated as a licensed bank, and we're also part of the Financial Services Compensation Scheme as well, in terms of protecting your customer funds up to £85,000 that everyone's familiar with the traditional high street banks. We have got a website which includes all the information about our leadership team and board as well, if you'd like to know a bit more about the executive team's background. In terms of the main overview that I wanted to highlight to you today then, so our business account, why we're different and why we think we offer a differentiated service to some of the traditional banks, as well as some of the newer challenges in the UK, is we can offer a very cost-effective value proposition to you and your end clients. So it's essentially a free business bank account without any monthly fees or charges that sit on the account other than depositing cash at the post office. There's no fussy forms, there's no waiting around for 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, we speak with a lot of accountants on a daily basis, and the main frustration is being able to incorporate or set up a business for your client and then have to wait anywhere from 1 to 6 weeks to then get the account open. I think that's probably been highlighted more than ever in the current climate. So for us, it's a very easy, simple in-app application. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes to complete, and then our team aims to review applications on the same day to within 48 hours. So we feel that we can offer a significantly quicker turnaround time to getting your clients up and running and doing what they love the most, which is obviously their vision of building their own business. We're fully integrated with the likes of QuickBooks, Xero and Free Agent as well, so that you'll get real-time transactional pulls once you are connected to those apps within the service, and makes the accounting process obviously a lot more streamlined and easy to do. In terms of our account, we are part of the switching scheme program as well. So we get a lot of customers who obviously switch across to Starling, and you can do that within a couple of taps within the app. And we make that as simple as possible, where we can complete that process in 7 working days, redirect the payments to standing orders, any direct debits and existing commitments that you have already with your existing bank. If they're part of the scheme, we can also offer that. In terms of some of the features that Starling offer, we have instant payment notifications and alerts. So it's a really nice way of getting real-time notifications as soon as money enters or leaves the account with Starling. We also let you know as well about any pending payments that are coming up. So again, it's a really nice way to keep on top of your cash flow for a business, but also see your balance reflect and update in real time. We also have quite slick features which allow you to automatically put your expenses into business categories to help simplify your reporting. And we do have an analytics tool that sits within the app as well, within the spending tab at the bottom. And that will really clearly show you where your business is actually spending the money against those categories. We do also support cash deposits and checks. So we have a partnership with the post office that allows customers to go into any of the 11,500 branches across the UK and deposit cash in real time. That is the only charge that sits on our account, and it's £3 for any transaction under £1,000, and anything over £1,000 we charge at 0.3%, which we find as well is very competitive against the traditional banks' rates. We also offer the facility to deposit checks. So we have a free post check clearing facility, and we also most recently launched our digital in-app scanning facility for checks under the value of £500. So that's some of the key reasons of why we're a popular choice when it comes to our business banking, and we have been recognised as a Which recommended provider in 3 times in a row. Been voted the best British bank, which we're very proud of as well. That was just what I've touched upon about our integrations with Xero, QuickBooks and Free Agent. I've also got a short video on how you can connect to Starling, but I'm a bit time conscious, so we can always give you a bit more of a detailed overview. In terms of who's eligible, we can support sole traders, owners of a limited company, so an owner-managed business, multi-director business, as well as registered charities in the UK. We support essentially sole traders, limited companies, LLPs and registered charities. And as I mentioned in the app, we very easily ask a little bit more information about your business so that we can understand that. The application journey is very seamless. As I mentioned, it takes 5 to 10 minutes to apply. Everything that you'd need to do in branch with a bank, we've built that into the application journey. So you'll need to upload things like your driving license or passport to verify you as an individual, and then just fairly standard questions about your business. And typically speaking, 5-10 minutes, 24 to 48 hour review of applications, and then the actual card itself can be delivered out. It's posted next day, first class post, so it wouldn't be unrealistic to apply on Monday and have your card with you Wednesday or Thursday to give you an idea. And you can actually start using the account once you're approved in-app digitally as well to start receiving invoices. So what I've built at Starling, and something I'm really proud of, we currently work with about 200 accountants throughout the UK, a mixture of sole practitioners, local bookkeepers to top 100 firms. A lot of the practices we work with are forward-thinking digital firms, like who are on the call I'd like to think today. In terms of what we're offering to our partner program is your own dedicated application link for your practice. So we generally find that's a really nice way to make that application process a lot easier to direct your customers towards. We've also built introductory guides, images and videos that you can share on your website. More importantly, you have your own dedicated point of contact. We're also open to the opportunity of collaborating at webinars and local events, and also face-to-face training. If you want to know a little bit more, then we have got a dedicated inbox below, as well as a web page as well that I've included there. I think the final thing to touch upon then is our toolkit. So we've launched this earlier this year. It's the final day that we can actually offer the account for 3 months for free as a promotion that we're offering. And that will allow you to send invoices and create invoices very seamlessly, automate expenses, We can also get involved in tax calculations and also record and submit VAT, sort your bills, and also we have a tracking tool as well, so you can keep on top of, again, the clients who are using our tool, they can keep on top of what they're doing. That's been really popular for micro businesses, startups and sole traders since we launched that offering. And then generally we have other things like online banking. We support business loans up to 250,000 and overdrafts up to 150,000. We're accredited for CBILS and bounce back loans. We also have a goals facility. So I'm just trying to run through things as quickly as possible. We have a customer support team that are based 24/7. And that's the overview of all of our account offerings to date. So I hope that gives you a bit more of an overview of Starling. And yeah, if you've got any questions at all, don't hesitate to get in touch, and I'll just leave my details at the end just so that you can pick those up. And yeah, thanks for having me, Dan. Hope that gives everyone a bit more overview.
Well done, Ollie. Really good. I think it's important for digital firms to be partnered with an alternative to a high street bank like Starling Bank, because the experience when you sign up to a Starling Bank account is amazing. We've done it. It took less than 10 minutes. The interface is superb. And the bank feeds are incredible as well that come into Xero and the other platforms. So yeah, reach out to Ollie. Thanks so much for that, Ollie. Really, really good 7 minutes, buddy. Look forward to seeing you soon. Up next is Perry from Xero, who's going to show us Xero Tax. Hi, Perry.
Hi, Dan. Got to say, I'm loving the 3 minute and 1 minute little warnings you've got.
Cheers,
So, good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Perry. I'm part of the education team at Xero. First off, it's awesome to be here. I've got to say, doing these types of meetings and webinars is kind of normal for me now. We've been working from home in way over 100 days now, which is absolutely insane. Today I do only have 7 minutes, so I'll try and keep everything succinct, but I'm here to talk about Xero and what it can do for your practice. So Xero is an entirely cloud-based solution, not only for bookkeeping, but also for data capture, bill payments, tax, and accounts production. Xero itself has become the hub for your client's business. A really key aspect is actually leveraging this to gain greater insights and operational efficiencies. We've launched or accelerated the launch of 2 new features that really do highlight where extra value can be added and why it's so important to have real-time data. The first is the business snapshot. Now, it's a visual representation of how the business is doing, but broken down into 3 key areas. You've got profitability, efficiency, and financial position in cash. Now, this is the perfect way to start a conversation with your clients using their data to help them understand their financial position. It's all about them. The second is the short-term cash flow tool. Work with them to ensure cash flow isn't an issue. Plan up to 30 days in advance and use their transactional data to suggest if intervention is needed. If they need a short-term loan to survive or want to know the affordability of a new fixed asset, this can all be done with the tool. Now, although insights are key, so are operational efficiencies. Something we understand at Xero is that the sales side of business is autonomous in nature. So if your client is using Xero, then naturally their invoicing will be up to date. However, accounts payable can become a real issue. Now, not only for them and their business, but also for you in the struggle to keep everything running in real time. So the next 2 areas I want to talk about are recording purchases and paying them. Hopefully making accounts payable as simple as accounts receivable. Now, HubDoc will help automate fetching and coding of transactions, so bills, and pay with transfer wires will sort the rest. So between the 2, the 5 areas you can see are fulfilled. At its core, HubDoc is a document management and storage solution. It has an automatic fetch function that takes the hassle from gathering documents from clients. It extracts the information in no time at all, and also has unlimited storage. So at a high level, when a transaction happens, the source document is automatically fetched by HubDoc or uploaded by your client. From there, data is automatically extracted. The document is filed, and it's ready to be coded and posted over to Xero as a transaction with a copy of the source document attached. So you've always got that original document in the core product. It's automatically matched to the appropriate bank statement line that's fed in from a direct feed. We just heard from Starling, a nice integration we have. And as soon as it's automatically matched, you click OK, everything's reconciled, and you have audit-proofed books. So HubDoc gives you a completely digital and paperless workflow and is available at no extra cost to all Xero business plans. So I hope you can see how this resolves the issue in those first two pillars in that accounts payable problem that was fetching and coding transactions. The last three can be solved with Pay with TransferWise. Now, Pay with TransferWise enables simple automated bill payments directly from within Xero, as well as offering real-time information about the status of payments. It is hard to imagine, but Xero customers processed almost 7 million bills every month in the UK alone. Paying bills is time consuming, it's prone to errors, and actually inconsistencies from bank to bank often leads to client confusion. So the idea is that Pay with TransferWise makes it simple. It's literally a couple of clicks and a single transfer. It's natively built into Xero and is the perfect companion with HubDoc to solve accounts payable. So in the time so far, we've looked at insights and data. And in the last few minutes, I want to focus on workflows, so that section in the middle, and compliance, together completing the 3 pillars to our practice vision. Xero Tax, hopefully some of you may have heard of it, but is our accounts production and tax solution available at no additional cost as part of the Xero Partner Program. It's completely cloud-based and designed specifically for our accounting and bookkeeping partners that are in practice. It's natively built into Xero HQ and leverages the bookkeeping data you already have, so there's no extra work. Now, although deeply embedded within Xero, it also pulls data from Companies House and HMRC. This makes accounts preparation and tax a less laborious task, and by utilizing the APIs available, actually makes submitting the annual accounts and tax return as simple as it can be. Now, in terms of key features, we have way too many to cover in the time available. 7 minutes is a highlight reel, but I did just want to highlight a few. So to start, Xero Tax completes a transactional level analysis to actually check for common anomalies and items that you may have to adjust, such as a provision for bad debt or charitable donations. The XBRL tagging, which is sometimes a chore, is then automatically allocated regardless of the chart of accounts used by your clients. It's embedded in Xero, as we know, and utilizes the fixed asset register that we have to highlight any capital allowances that need recording and help automating the process by bringing it in to the form for you. So you just check it and kind of say what you want to claim, FYA, AIA, so on and so forth. So Xero Tax has basically been built to save you time, reduce errors, and cut costs. Now, we have some really big plans, and where we're at the moment is definitely just the beginning of our journey. So if you haven't looked at Xero Tax yet, I would highly recommend checking out our dedicated Xero Tax page, where you can learn more, see our roadmap, and sign up to get going with Xero Tax. Now, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky, and I'm going to send you guys a link. So if you do, in fact, move your mouse now, you'll see in the chat panel, there is a link to our landing page. I highly recommend and hope you do open that, have a look, sign yourselves up, and get going with Xero Tax. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure to talk with you all. Stay safe, and I'll speak to you soon.
Perry, well done. Really good 7 minutes. It's come on so much, even in the 12 months since I last worked there. Definitely need to get HubDoc in my life, because I spend end of every month, or how often I decide to do my bookkeeping, going through all the different portals and websites, trying to get those receipts and invoices. So well done, Perry. If anyone has any questions, Perry, put them in the Q&A. We'll be running the poll, and then, yeah, brilliant, Perry, well done. I'm just going to swiftly hand over to Ash Beatson from Nett-Tracker. Hi, Ash.
Hi, Dan. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. The floor is yours. We can hear you, see you, and we can see your screen. All yours.
Cool. Thanks. So, my name's Ash. I'd just like to show you quickly how Nett-Tracker can save your practice time and some of your clients' time as well. Now, this current integration is just with QuickBooks Online, but we do plan to integrate with Xero in the future. So why should you actually use Nett-Tracker? Well, I know from experience working in accountancy practice that there's a lot of repetitive work, and we can avoid that if we've got Nett-Tracker in place. And if you're doing monthly or quarterly reporting, you know, the time savings can be huge. So first of all, there's no more spreadsheets to create or update for fixed assets. The asset register is auto updated based upon purchases detected from ledgers. Depreciation journals processed automatically. Year-end process to review assets and adjust depreciation if you need to. There's automatic journals for disposals, deletions, real-time accounting now, so you've got consistent profit and loss reporting, unlimited users for your practice and your clients. And you know, remote working can be made easier because there's no need to share spreadsheets anymore. Let me get myself directly into the product. So here we have the dashboard, and when you first land on the dashboard of a particular company file, what you have here is the Nett-Tracker asset register, and you've got the balance sheet value, which is coming through from your accounting software. So I can see immediately there that I've got a difference, and that usually means that there's an asset that has not yet actually been posted. Now, although I've logged in theory, once you've set up Nett-Tracker, you can leave it because it can be completely automated. You only come in here once a year to do a review. Before I look at the asset that I want to add, just a couple of very quick settings that I can just talk about. So you've got depreciation rules. There's some defaults already in there. You can add your own depreciation rules based upon straight line, reducing balance. You've got your asset groups and your mappings, and that will be completely blank when you first go in there. You add your own asset groups like computer equipment, machinery and equipment, and for each of those groups, you map them across to your accountancy software for various reasons, for tracking your new asset purchases, for putting your depreciation journals in place, your disposals, and also the year end if you want to adjust between your in-year and your accumulated balances. So let me just take myself back to the dashboard, and I'm going to review that transaction. So I've got a new asset that's come in. I can just go into pending at the moment, create an asset from it. There's nothing really here that I need to change at this point. I could do some basic changes. I'm just going to accept it here for speed. So now that has been accepted, it's been processed. And if I actually come back to my dashboard now, what I can see is that my asset register balance is now in line with my balance sheet, exactly what I'm expecting. So let's have a look at the actual asset register. So I'll come into the asset register, pretty standard asset register with brought forward values, purchases in years. There's my purchase that's just been added, any depreciation in the year, and I've also got my disposals, which I've got at the bottom. If I just take myself to the top of this screen, I've got the ability of actually downloading this into an Excel sheet, and I've also got tools there where I can import my existing asset register. So I could come into here, literally download the template that I need, copy my assets into the template, and then upload them. Within this sheet, I can got the option of deleting assets if they've gone on in error, and that will reverse any journals, and I can dispose of my assets. And I can also split my assets or merge them using a kit feature. If I've been using this for several years, then I've got the option here to actually look at previous year's fixed assets. Just come back to the dashboard. So from my dashboard screen, I'm just going to click go. For some reason just done a little refresh. I'll just click on go, and that's going to take me into the asset register. Any depreciation posted is in green. In blue means it's about to be posted in further months. Because that asset was dated July and it's missed the July depreciation, it's highlighted in red. I can literally process that depreciation and it will do a catch up for that asset that was missed before. So what else have we got? Now, if I just take myself back to the dashboard, we can add further users. So if I'm actually in the company itself, I can come into my company settings. And from here, I can add users, no limit on the amount of users. And it's from this screen where I'd probably add my client if I want them to view their assets from here, or even get them to monitor their own fixed assets. If I'm going into my own sort of practice area, so I can load to my profile or view my company. So if I look at my profile and actually go to view the details of my organization, my practice, I can add my users, further users for my practice within here. And it's also, if I log in initially, that's where a list of all of my company client files will be held. I'll just come back into that asset register for that client. Something that we're immensely proud of as well is the support and the user guides that we've got available. So if I were to just click on the help option, I've got help with this page. Help with this page initially is going to give me a little bit of text of what that page does, and also there's a video guide with it. If I need further help, then I can go to the help option where I can go to help and support. Again, I can raise a support ticket, or I can look at the sort of frequently asked questions. Is there a user guide? If I download the user guide, there's video guides within the guide. So there's a lot of assistance there. So that sort of pretty much brings us sort of towards the end of the sort of presentation. What I will say is that for accountancy, bookkeeping firms, you can claim a free subscription. So if you actually go to our website, Nett-Tracker, net-tracker.com/pricing, on that pricing page, there is a link there which gives you details of how to claim a free subscription, and no strings at all. We can set up a file for free. And then if you've got any questions at all, you can drop an email to me at ash.beatson@farscapeapplications.com. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Well done, Ash. Super platform for managing fixed assets. Really good presentation. Well done to you, Ash. What we're going to do now, guys, we're going to run a quick poll to see. We've got two polls. One is to see if you'd like to book on to the next session, which we haven't got a date confirmed yet, and we'll leave probably to the end of next month or the following month because we don't want to run too close together. But let's just run through this first one on who you'd like to hear from. So we'll just wait a couple of seconds for those to come in. Well done, everybody on the call today. So thanks to Jamie, Gareth, Trent, Celso, Lisa, Tush, George, Ollie, Perry, and Ash. It's not easy to get your products and main benefits of your systems across in 7 minutes. Hopefully what you've seen today is a glimpse into some of these really great apps. And if you'd like to take things on to have some deeper discussions, then please reach out to the guys, or please just click this box into the poll. I'll give this another few seconds before we shoot on to the next one. Great to see so many of you on the call today. I think we had nearly 100 people on the session, so that was really, really good. Okay, if no more are coming in on the poll, I will end this one, and we'll just see if we can move on to the next. They were all on there. Perfect. They ran both polls at the same time. So thank you so much, everybody, for being on the app speed dating session. I think the plan is, off the back of the feedback, and so long as the feedback from today's session is good, we'll look to run these potentially once a month. I think might be quite a nice way to keep on top of the apps that are in the ecosystems. If you would like to be a part of that, then just click that in the poll. And thank you all so much for your time today. It means a lot. Stay safe, have a great weekend, enjoy the sunshine, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all soon. Thank you all so much, everybody. Thanks everybody still on the call. Good to see you all, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks so much.